Mwah.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's Lisa Copeland, and today is Wednesday, December 19th, 2018, 15 minutes of fierce. And as you can see on the screen, there is another beautiful lady joining me. So Miss Jan Goss Gibson, author of Bedroom Etiquette, Amazon best-selling book. So if you have got anybody around you and you don't want to talk about anything past about PG, I recommend you turn on another morning podcast. But this one, I promise you, is going to be good today because you have got to show up well everywhere, not just in business. Right, Jan? Good morning.
That's it. Good morning, Lisa Copeland.
How are you?
Thank you, Lisa Copeland. I know that you have your fans out there, but I just want to say that I claim the number one biggest fan spot.
I love you.
I just, look at what Lisa does. She gets up early in the morning just to pour into you because she truly cares about people. So, Lisa, I'm your number one fan. You show up well, even early in the morning.
Well, today I showed up better because I knew I was going to have you on the show. And when we're talking about bedroom etiquette, I figured we're going to have a large viewership. So I want to say good morning to Anthony, Michelle, Dina, Melvin, Melissa, Scott, Michael, Adam Aarons. Adam Aarons says, superstars, love you both from 38,000 feet. That's my dear friend. That's the Subaru dealer in the Northeast. Patricia, Nigel. Okay, they're all on. People are lining up to hear what you have to say. Jan, you just went number one in how many categories with Amazon?
I did. I went number one in 2 categories on Amazon within 24 hours. So this tells me, Lisa, that this is a subject that we have got to begin to talk about.
And nobody talks about it. So I want you to tell our viewers who you are and what you do. I mean, you were named the number one influencer. You work with corporations. You work with the University of Texas. You teach people how to show up well, from dining skills to business etiquette to business skills, professional communication skills in the boardroom.
Exactly.
How did we shift to the bedroom?
Well, we got to keep life fun, Lisa. Come on.
Huh?
We have to keep life fun. It can't just be all stuffy corporate, show up well in the boardroom.
Well, you took a hard right turn on this one, sister.
And, in all transparency, let me just say this, that this has been rolling inside of me for years. My sister is a sex therapist. She is a doctor of sexology. Now, I didn't even know there was such a thing.
And you know what, y'all? I know her sister, Sarah. This is a true story. Her sister is so dang cool. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, my sister is precious, and she's so full of wisdom. And, I laugh because my sister, I love her, to the moon and back. And she is just my life. But let me tell you this, we are day and night opposites. We cancel out each other's votes. We think very differently. We come from different viewpoints in life. And part of that is what I think is so delicious, is that we're very, very different, but love is the bond that crosses every divide. And it brings us together because I love her. So I have been talking to Sarah, my sister, about
sexologist.
Yes.
For those of you just tuning in, Jan, we have a bunch of new tune-ins, so I'm just going to bring everybody up to speed. For those of you just tuning in, it's Lisa Copeland. I have got on the show today Amazon best-selling author Jan Goss Gibson, who is #1 influencer for corporate influence, right? She trains corporations, she trains graduate students at the University of Texas. She's had a long-term contract, and now she has written a book about bedroom etiquette. Now, if you love this, if you love Jan, if you know somebody who needs to see this message, and we're going to spend the next 10 minutes talking about this message with Jan, I want you to share it. I want you to like it. Throw us some hearts out there. Share this to your friends, because this is a topic that typically is not spoken about at 6:45 in the morning. But it's important. It's a big part of our lives. And if it's not good, nothing is good. Right, Jan? So Jan, take it.
That's it. So where I was in the story is that my sister is a doctor of sexology. We have been talking about this because showing up, not just showing up, but showing up well is what gives you an edge in life, in relationships, in business. It's bringing excellence into everything that you do. And so it was in August, I got a phone call from a dear friend, Camille Walker, who actually Lisa introduced me to years ago.
Yes.
And Camille called me and she said, Jan, you've got to write bedroom etiquette now. Now, when Camille speaks, everybody listens.
Absolutely, I do.
How she is. Yeah, she's my bestie, my attorney, my prayer partner, my everything, right? So she didn't know I was to the point in a coaching program that I'm in to write a book. And I was going to write a safe little book, Lisa, how to show up well, 52 ways to show up well.
I was about to say, and Jan, you have written multiple books. So writing a book's not a new thing to you.
No, it's not. But I wasn't planning on writing a book about sex, you guys. I mean, come on, I'm a grandmother. I had to explain to my grandchildren and my children. I said, okay, you guys, so your Nene, because that's what they call me, like, okay, your Nene has a book that's about to come out, and I want you to hear it from me, not from someone else. So, yeah, you have to cross these divides. It's about opening up communication. There are two things that we don't really talk about in marriage relationships and interpersonal relationships: money and sex.
Oh, good.
And guess where our problems are? Money and sex. We don't know how to have conversations. So this book, here it is right here, Bedroom Etiquette. This book right here is a tool to open up communication. It's to help you connect with this person who you've chosen to spend your life with. It's about ending every day. I call it the last chapter. You'll find out is happy ending. Yes, it is. That's the last chapter of the book. It is. And it's how to end every day. You want your days to end well, whatever that looks like, to lay your head on your pillow and be at peace. And
tell me how this plays into, Jan, your corporate audiences, right? So you speak all over the country, all over the world to these corporate audiences. How has this been received from a corporate standpoint, or is this much more of an individual reader? Or are the corporations bringing you in? Because if you're not happy at home, you're probably not happy at work either.
That is so true. And the answer to that question is, I don't know yet, because the book just came out last week. So I'm not
went to
sure.
#1, in 24 hours.
And here, if I can just get a little intimate, a little up close and personal this morning.
Well, come on. You're talking about bedroom etiquette at 6:45 in the morning. You're pretty intimate with people.
Yeah. So the two categories that this book came up #1 in, let me just tell you what they are. They're marriage and long-term relationships and parenting and relationships. So the reason why that is significant for those of you, some of you may know my story. If you don't, my life has been a train wreck a couple of times, or maybe 3 or 4 or 100 times. I call it I lived my life in Technicolor. And where I have experienced the most pain and heartache was marriage and long-term relationships, and which affected parenting and relationships. Now my life looks different, but that's where so much pain and so much hurt in my life was. And for this book to bring me to #1 in those two categories, well, I'm not a huge emotional person, but Lisa, I was bawling like a little baby. Poor Rick, he did not know what to do with
Well,
me.
and I've known you
When
for what,
women
15
cry,
years?
I have no idea what to do with you.
Yes, and I've known you for 15 years, and so I've walked through some of that, and you've
Yeah,
walked through mine with me, and so we've
yeah,
walked through these things together. So what you're saying is so true. And for those of you out there that are just tuning in, we've got Amazon best-selling author Jan Goss Gibson, who just released a book called Bedroom Etiquette. And she's telling her story. And there's somebody out here that needs to hear this story. And I'm asking if you are inspired at all, if you will share this, if you will send it to a friend, if you will tag a friend. This is a subject we don't talk about at 6:45 in the morning on a business podcast. And this is a
yeah,
business author and business expert, somebody who's under contracts with like people like the University of Texas to work with their graduate students. But she made a decision to become very open and transparent, and it was put on her heart that she needs to help people and marriages stay together and to show up well everywhere, not just the boardroom, but in the bedroom. So Jan,
yes.
knowing this is a 15-minute show, I mean, what is it that you would tell the people watching this show right now? Because I think at one point in life, everybody has struggled.
Yes.
And if they haven't struggled, they're listening to a friend who's struggling, right? A friend's calling them and saying, hey, this just isn't working. I'm not unhappy, whatever. Give us some strong takeaways of what they can do to start showing up well and to have the greatest 2019 ever
Yes.
in the bedroom.
Yes.
You heard it here
Absolutely.
on 15 Minutes of Fierce.
That's right. You heard it right here.
That's right.
Well, first of all, you are a business person, and I want you to begin to treat your partner how you would your very best client. All I did was take principles from business and apply them to the bedroom. How do you woo that client that you want so badly? How do you treat your best client?
You do your hair and your makeup
Hello.
every time you see them.
Yeah, and what about the service after the sale? Hello. You don't just want to leave them there.
Oh.
What do you do? Okay, so you made the sale. You got the sale behind closed doors. How do you treat them then? What about follow-up? We know in business that follow-up is where the fortune is.
Yes.
Well, what about behind closed doors? What about in your home life? Let me just read you some of the steamy suggestions here. Number one is create your sacred space. Don't just have your clothes laying all over your bedroom and your computers in there and your everything. I help you create a sacred space. Chapter 2 is be naked. It's about authenticity and transparency. Chapter 3, be willing to bend. Getting a little steamy now, isn't it? Yeah, it's not all about you. It's about bending to please your partner. Chapter 4, I love. Whatchamacallit. Do you know that in our society, we're not set up to have sexual conversations? We either have clinical talk or we have street talk. That's it. We don't know what to call things. We don't know how to say this. We don't know how to communicate. And so whatchamacallit helps you open up your own personal communication. And then come here, set the tone, draw that person to you. Where to start, know your ABCs. That's about appearance, behavior, and confidence. And then, of course, chapter 7, I already told you, a happy ending. Every story deserves a happy ending. You deserve to end every day happy.
I'm just like this, just like I know the rest of the audience is. Let's see what people are saying out there. Megan's on, Janella's on. Anthony says, be willing to bend. I love it, Anthony. Subaru, love the way you two look. Captivating. Subaru Steve. We love Steve this morning, don't we, Jan?
Yeah, we love him.
Yeah, Michelle says, LOL. Adam Aaron says, put your hands on each other's faces, look them in the eyes, and let them know you love them. It goes from there for us. And that's so cute. So Adam is a Subaru dealer in the Northeast. His wife's name is Lisa too. And of course, I'm obsessed with all things Subaru, because if you're a Subaru dealer, you know how to share the love, because that has been their campaign forever. And he's one of the kindest, most wonderful people I know. Anthony says, I always demonstrate etiquette in the bedroom unless asked otherwise. I'm telling you, I'm going to find out some things about my friends and our
I'm
viewers,
proud.
you know? Okay, but guys, I hate to do this, but this, we're coming to an end on this show. There is nothing about Jan's book. This is, to me, this is the ultimate Christmas present for your partner. Jan, how would people, number one, buy the book? I want to do a run up on this book on this show. How are people going to buy your book?
There's a couple of ways. You can obviously go to Amazon. You can go to Amazon.com, and then you can go to Show Up Well. Go to showupwell.com, click on the store. You'll learn how to show up well all the way from the boardroom to the bedroom. I have tools and resources. Come on, you guys. We get one life to live. Let's not just show up in life, but let's learn how to show up well.
I love that. And the other way that you could help Jan continue her run at number one and potentially pick up other categories besides marriage, relationships, and raising children, which are two huge, probably the biggest categories you can have when you're writing a relationship book. So congratulations, is that you can start following Jan on social media. Jan, tell everybody where to follow you.
Yes. Okay, it's kind of breaking up a little bit. I don't know if that's my end or your end.
Well, it looks good on my
social
end.
Social media, you're asking?
Okay, so Show Up Well on Facebook, is that correct?
Well, you can go to Jan Goss Gibson. Yes, okay. I have a public page there, or you can follow me on Twitter at Show Up Well, on Instagram, Show Up Well at Show Up Well.
Okay, and Jan, so you will put that in the comments for everybody when we get off the show, how people can follow you, because I'm going to bet you have a whole new fan base now. So you guys, it's Lisa Copeland. It's 15 Minutes of Fierce. I want to thank our guest this morning, Jan Goss Gibson, author of the #1 best-selling book on Amazon about bedroom etiquette. This is an important subject, and so I'm asking you today, let's let other people hear this. Let's let other people follow Jan. This would be the #1 way to keep the families together. I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
So share this, like it, leave us your comments. Jan will jump back in. She will look at your comments. Follow Jan on social media. Buy the book. Buy the book for your partner at Christmas. That would be fantastic. That would be like, whoa, send a very
best
good
2019
message.
Ever, right?
Right. Right? So anyways, so share this, like it, love it. Leave us your comments. Thank you guys, as usual, for tuning in to 15 Minutes of Fierce with Lisa Copeland. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Jan, thanks
Happy
again.
holidays, everyone.